Rashidele, the paper, the Chaja Kala Joban, Zabarina Joba, the safety to no gombe, the Roma Tama, Rashidele, the Sanje, from the Domatane, Sanje, Samba, Semi, the Nija, Semi, and so on. Then Omega Java Chuba comes to Sentin, Tamjel Chubamber, Rashidele.
So I want to say Tashidele and welcome to everyone. All of the monks and nuns and old friends and students who are here, who are joining on the internet. I want to say welcome to everyone. And so I want to offer this in the spirit of the boundless love and the boundless compassion that the Buddhas have. And so I offer this to the three jewels.
We will begin the retreat with the Yellow Prayer Book, opening prayers on page 1.
Tam che je dor se be manam ga dan nyam be sem je dam je de wa dan de dong a dan dar yu du la na me yan da ba do be san jo ren bo to ba so.
All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment.
Ma she par de le nga ye sum ge wa la ko de re ne zon de ye ma san da zam je par le nga ye sum ge wa la ko.
For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue.
San chung nyen bon che je ba, san je nam la ja sum che, ju dang san cho san ba ye. Cholan de jin ja sum che, je dang hun je de she che, san cho thom ne je ba dang, san cho san ba la, de da ren yin ne ba da, de bien do la pen don da, san cho san ne je yin. De bien de ne la pa lang ren ba yin la ba je.
I take refuge in the Buddhas until attaining the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until attaining the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path.
Sanje chudan sojen chonam la Sanjo bardu damne japsum je Dake jen sojen besunam je Dola pensa sanje drupchen.
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Manam kadanyam besem chintam Devadam deve jodam dembar jurje Donghadam dongharje jodam davar jurje Donghame be devadam mamdra vajurje Nyeren chadam nyedan da
May all Mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all Mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Now we will go to the concise practice of Chenrezig with 1,000 arms text, beginning on page 4. Namo Lokateshvara. Dharmakaya, the unelaborated reality, protector, boundless light, Sambhogakaya, loving, supreme, noble Chenrezig, Nirmanakaya, Dharma King Dzongsen Gampo, we supplicate to you, please grant your blessings, the root lamas possessing the three kindnesses, with the supreme lamas of the oral transmission and treasured teachings. We supplicate to you, please grant your blessings, please grant the ordinary and highest accomplishments.
Om Benzar Mahatrot Hariya Deva Hompe Om Sobhava Shuddha Sarvadharma Sobhava Shuddha Dong Ben Ngang Le Om Le Song Rinpoche no yang she ja che ve nan do om a hong she va le song ve tor ma dan she to ba me ba sa ba me wa che ba che ne ba Nam Kadanyam Barju.
From emptiness arises an Om, which transforms into a precious container broad and vast. Within this are Om Ah Hong, which melt and transform into a pure, unlimited, uncontaminated torma, extensive as the sky, capable of giving rise to special, ultimate great bliss.
Om Ah Hong, Om Ah Hong, Om Ah Hong, Om Agara Moga Sarva Dharmana Ade Dubena Duda Om Ahum Pesova Om Akara Moga Sarva Dharman Ade Dubena Duda Om Ahum Pesova Om Akara Moga Sarva Dharman Ade Dubena Duda Om Ahum Pesova Nama Sarva Datanga Avalokeda Om Sambara Sambaraho Nama Sarva Datanga Avalokeda Om Sambaraho Nama Sarva Datanga Avalokeda Om Sambara Sambaraho Jom Dende Tebjen Shekpa Renche Mangla Samsalo Tebjen Shekpa Zunzen Tambala Samsalo Tebjen Shekpa Kunjam Lela Samsalo Tebjen Shekpa Shekpa Tam Jeta Yong Se Travela Samsalo.
I pay homage to the exalted Tathagata Rinchen Mang. I pay homage to the Tathagata Zogze Dampa. I pay homage to the Tathagata Junyang Li. I pay homage to the Tathagata Jingpa Tamshe Dang Yangsu Drawa La.
Kanyen Semo Javaye Jongbo Nam Dang Sha Zatang Sembo Sha Chen Zavatang Sem Chen Nam Ba Na Tsutang Ju Shen Kek Pa So Ne Ba Te Tang Te La Tur Ma Ne Gadwa Shan Chang La So Pe De Chen Deva Mang Bo Tang Ju Ba De Yen Gu Zu La Nu Be Sam Ba She Wa Tang Sem Chen Nam La Pen Be Tse De Ren Sem Che Je Ba Je Jin Xian Jin Xian De Ne Chu Ju Jen Der Xian Yang Da Dong La Tang Ba Ju Yong Bo Kun La Che Ban Pa Ba De Ge Long Ge Ju De Yang Zhan Ze De Jie Ze Men Je Gang Yang Men Che Ve So La Kun Jiang Zen Rang Ge Lu La Pe Long La Yin La Nu Ba Ma Ze Je Om Chen Bang Chung Nga Gan Da Ge Lu Dang Ba Nu Ze Be Ne De Re Sung Ju La Dun Chu Rang Ge Ne Su De
page 6. Spirits who wander by night, all jungpa and flesh eaters, singpo who consume raw meat, various types of beings, those who abide in the thin branches of trees and so forth, for these individuals and others is this torma made of meat, beer, radish, and mashed rice, many kinds of fruit. Please enjoy this offering. Pacify your harmful thoughts. From now on, develop the intention to help others. Practice Dharma like an ornament, hold perfect samaya and pure vows, renounce chastising any jungpo, be ordained shramanas or brahmins. Everyone is afraid of weapons, and everyone values their own life. Take your own life as an example and avoid causing harm to others. Om, all you spirits strong or weak, to fully eliminate illnesses especially dangerous to the body, return to your own abode.
Sarva Buddhange. Nu so so ran ran ge men ye dang yong so ju ba le chu ze na ram yin ba na ba chu ze se sa me je de wa ji ne ju zhen sam je me cha ba ju.
From emptiness arises a drum syllable that transforms into a precious container. The initial letters of each of the offerings appear and then transform into the offering substances with the nature of emptiness. Through contemplation, they transform into an unlimited cloud of offerings, which has the power to produce never-ending happiness.
Om Benda Agan Wafu, Om Benda Baden Afu, Om Benda Bube Afu, Om Benda Dube Afu, Om Benda Aloge Afu, Om Benda Gende Afu, Om Benda Nevede Afu, Om Benda
In order to liberate all sentient beings abiding in samsara from the ocean of suffering, I will meditate on the mandala of the Great Compassionate One.
Lama dan tu je chen la so la san je dan san cho se cho je ko dun je nam kha chen zhang ve de den la yo ba ju.
In my heart is a palm which transforms into a lotus, and an ah which transforms into a moon cushion. On it is a vivid white Hri radiating light. The light invites the lamas and the deities of the great compassionate ones surrounded by the assembly of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas into the sky in front to be seated on a lotus and moon cushions.
Om Lokan Shora Sarva Buddha Bodhisattva Sapareva Agambhadita Sova Om Lokeshwara 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 Sarva Buddha Bodhisattva Sapareva Alokapatita Sova Om Lokeshwara Sarva Buddha Bodhisattva Sapareva Agambhadita Sova Om Lokeshwara Sarva Buddha Bodhisattva Sapareva Agambhadita Sova Om Lokeshwara Sarva Nam nyang da yena ovetund yobo survande da yin geve zava kansabe la me do bezan Tam Jetang Dusan Tembo Sankar La Sotang Sojya Sanje San Sen Sedang Je Sem Yunga Sarvese Ram Jen Dana Jen Den Jesu Nyeda Pe Me Den La Tamba Yo Lunga Ye Sang Be San Salo Mem Jaya Jan Chuba Tambande Develena Chijidolusha Jevonin Taranjan Sanjosen Dusangezagela Jeyera Dusam Jarveshane Sombaye Lungo Sem Jemam La Corduso Rodom and Zenyang and Dayena Novetunda Yopa Sorvande Dajen Geveta Vakansabe Lame Zobe Sanjo Tobarjo.
All lamas existing in the three times, the deities of the Mandala of the Great Compassionate One, with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, in order to eliminate the suffering of all beings in samsara, please come from your natural abodes. Please be seated here on the cushions of lotus, moon, and sun. I respectfully prostrate with body, speech, and mind. Accept these holy offerings, real and imagined. From prior lifetimes until now, whatever wrongful acts I did, I acknowledge and confess. I rejoice in the root of virtues of ordinary people, Shravkas, Pratyabs, and Bodhisattvas of the three times. For all living beings, please turn the wheel of Dharma, of the direct oral teachings of the victors of the three times. Those who wish for parinirvana will not benefit beings. Please accept my request that you to remain to benefit beings. May I and others, accumulating the root of virtue, achieve the unexcelled perfect enlightenment.
Denam Samhatan Javasavu Devatan Tepasavu Jatang Dantav Tanyam Lanepa Savu Kamsam Redo Vesemji Dong Harvan De Tam Je Nyen Re Je Denam Dong Hadan Java Savu Deva Dan Tepa Savu Jadan Dan Java Danyo La
have great compassion for all those who are suffering, the sentient beings of the 6 realms of the 3 worlds. May they be separated from suffering. May they have happiness. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. The visualized field of accumulation of merit dissolves into me.
Om Soba Vashuddha Sarva Dharma Soba Vashuddha Sananje Chudang Upo Zongwa Tanzen Bedu Batamji Ranjin Takbe Ranjin
All inner and outer phenomenal things subsumed into subject and object are purified into the nature of the natural purity.
Om Shanya Danja Zasob Yemagova Om Soba Vashut Sarvadam Sobhavashidava Tombengang Lecheye Garbo Yonsu Jurbale Papa Chenrez Jagdong Jindong Kumdo Garb Chuga Jeve Shas Longa Jeve Shas Marmo Zebe Shani Druga Trebe Shani Vaba Meje Vada Joje Gloy Zave Juga Sajana Zave Sanye Tokar Tarmoja Devo Manina Chenwada Pemanzem Devo Manina Kuloda Rewa Jelonzemba Devo Manina Chujin Jasaja Remboje Devo Manina 这个当他原人，牛言拉龙个萨孙就所见的，言拉的这个人不接小把龙子，让这多接家着，没些人大意。 Suma aya pabamba jata tenwa bema madawa bema gabo zemba wo yonje chugana jinje lo bema serbo raja tonga tuyong chenwa 这么多节家，谢谢这个也没干，来完可乐这辈子，跟着白妈妈不，人不切世界，咱把我年拉那个啥东呢？ 去见家萨将在白天，今日日三这周三天呢，头节所人们娘把在把下周外东了，女儿的也把我。 人他没白人不见，那错白我见，年见个见碰见，嘎ra se mo to sha sa da bya da la ze ba de ba tar na zo je sung ta me yo tar chang so la de so ba sen zang bo sun je pe ze je je kun ze dun je da ma she la mo ye ge zhong kun do san zi jin cha lo tam ji zu mo da dar wa ye je da ma sen or wa zan ba kun do kar bo sha je san ye ren bo che da yu me de gen chen ba yun je da ma se mo se an chang dam gun do ma sha je sa ni je she ga je chen wa da yun be ma zen ba sun ga da da ren bo je na cho be jin je shab do be je chen mo zhong yo ba jab jian da ma san jian han wan tai gum do ma bo san ni ben an zhen jia jia nian be jie mo zhong ge yo qian be zhe be gu cha lo jian no se ben da lan dun ne ye ge jie ben da dang bo nam ba nam jie da nian ba de yum san jie jie ni ga bo ye ko lo zum ba me jo ba da ye ba yum ma ma ge nian ho mo ye do jie ren zhang zhong jian zhong zhen jian ba de yum gun de zang nie se mo ye ren bo ji dun ba na wan ta ye ye ba de yum gu ga mo ni ma mo ye pe mo zhe ba dang jie ba de yum ma ma ni jian gu ye do jie jia zhe jiu jie ba du jie qian bo jiu nie ba de yum xie rab jie pa ru de san ma ni ga bo ye be ma na lam yum na yun den la den yum na yun chu jian jian sa ye tam ji san chen to gan zen de da tam je da dar da ren bo che na cho jian jian shab san be je mo yo bo.
Page 14. From emptiness arises a white Hui, which completely transforms into the noble Chenrezig, with 1,000 arms and 1,000 eyes, with white body and 11 faces, 3 peaceful faces of the Dharmakaya, 3 smiling faces of the Sambhogakaya, 2 dark red semi-wrathful faces, 2 wrathful faces of the Nirmanakaya, and in the center Amitabha. The roots of the 10 arms are the Dharmakaya. The main 2 hands are joined at the heart. The next lower 2 hold a mala and a lotus. The next lower 2 hold a wheel and a round anointing vase. On the next lower 2, one is in the mudra of giving and the other holds a jewel. The next lower 2 hold a Nirmanakaya statue and a bow and arrow. The branches are the 38 arms of Sambhogakaya. The 19 right arms hold a jewel, a lasso, an offering bowl, a sword, a crossed vajra, a water crystal, a fire crystal, a bow, an arrow, a twig, a tail fan, a shield, a vase, an axe, a mala, a blue lotus, a sun, a moon, and a white lotus. The 19 left arms hold a cloud, an anointing vase, a yellow lotus, a white conch sword, a skull staff, a mala, a bell, a vajra, an iron hook, a monk's staff, a Nirmanakaya statue, a celestial palace, a volume of scripture, a wheel, an emanated form, grapes, a red lotus, and an 8-cornered jewel. The secondary branches are the 1,000 arms of the Nirmanakaya, making the mudra of highest generosity. In the palm of each is an eye of compassion that looks towards all sentient beings of the 6 realms equally and impartially. The 2 legs are standing erect to quickly benefit all beings. The body is adorned with head ornaments, earrings, short necklace, shoulder ornaments, belt, medium-length necklace, long necklace, bracelets, and anklets of all various inexpressibly precious jewels, and upper and lower garments of various silks and draped silk cloths. The body is beautiful with all the 32 major marks and the 80 minor marks. On the lotus petal in front of this, a Hri transforms into Lamo Yegye Drukpa, the 6-syllable mantra goddess, with body color, hand symbols, and ornaments, all identical to the main deity. On the petal on the right is the sun Norbuzingpa, jewel holder with white body color, 1 face and 2 hands, holding a jewel in the right hand and a pearl mala in the left. On the petal on the left is the daughter Rinpoche, holder of the mantra, with white body color, 1 face and 2 hands, holding a crystal mala in the right hand and a lotus in the left. These 3 wear silks and various jewels. The legs are in the sattva posture in the manner of paying homage. On the rear petal is the Buddha Amitabha with red body color, with 2 hands in the meditation position, sitting in the Vajra posture, ornamented with the major and minor marks of the Buddha, and with all the aspects of the Nirmanakaya. There are 12 outer petals of the lotus. On the petals starting from the front and circling to the right are first Varachana and the second the Mother Buddha Lochana, both white in color, holding a wheel in the right hand. Third, Akshobhya, and fourth, the Mother Mamaki, both blue in color, holding a vajra in the right hand. Fifth, Ratnasambhava, and sixth, the Mother Samantabhadri, both yellow in color, holding a jewel in the right hand. Seventh, Amitabha, and eighth, the Mother Pantara, both red in color, holding a lotus in the right hand. Ninth, Amoga Siddhi, and 10th, the Mother Tara, both green in color, holding a cross vajra in the right hand. 11th, Avalokiteshvara, Mahakarunika, and 12th, the Mother Prajnaparamita, both white in color, holding a lotus in the right hand. Regarding all of the above, the male has the left hand supported on the cushion. The female has the left in the mudra of great generosity. The right hands of all hold the hand symbols at the heart. They are all ornamented with silks and various jewels, and the legs are in the sattva posture.
Yarye Gangan Jamla Dusum Sanje Tongzanye Po Sanjo Sembe Jalo Yogwa Shargo Laye Tupa Jarzen Karbo Sanye Pava Zembatan Lama Nyeje Tab Yalen Zemba Jarlo Meye Tuba Shakja Tuba Serbo Sikshang Zemba Nugu Tundru Tuba Shakja Senge Nagbo Lewan Zen Yeda Jetaba Namkhan Zumabo Rembo Jetomba Zem Nagmang Davetaba Chujar Nagbo Mechon Zen 周嘎王这个家老sem se jen jen jama ta ge tang ge nan ne zhen wo de jie you ba wo da nie jiang ba 断真的难觉我等觉做我的给这个啥大当等觉觉做我头个别马个不得我大为健康觉我谁也个不能把来我在大 让人间来所处，共把当着头节全部了，归结根的，难怪见长白就。
Page 19. In the courtyard of the palace are the 1,002 Buddhas of the three times in the form of bodhisattvas. In the eastern door is the Buddha of the gods, Garchen, extensive generosity, white holding a guitar, Miwang, in both hands, and the Buddha of the demigods, Tadzang, Ri, splendid robe, blue holding armor. In the southern door is the Buddha of humans, Shakyamuni, yellow, holding an offering bowl. In the western door is the Buddha of the animals, Shakya Sangye, black, holding a volume of scripture, and the Buddha of the hungry ghosts, Namkazod, sky treasure, red, holding a treasure box. In the northern door is the Buddha of the hell beings, Chogyal, Dharma king, black, holding fire and water. These six have form of the Nirmanakaya, with all the major and minor marks, and wearing the three Dharma robes, standing erect. I transform into the hero Hayagriva. Then in an instant I clearly arise, identical in form to the main deity generated in front, Chenrezig. The main deity generated in front has in the heart a white lotus with a moon circle. In the center of this is a white tree, radiating light, inviting the deities of the great compassionate one, identical to the meditation deities from their natural abodes into the sky in front. Free from the highest abode of the natural spontaneous realization, unmoving from the realm of the unborn Dharmakaya, yet the form body manifests in a body to benefit beings. Please come here through the power of compassion. Free Great Compassionate One, with all your retinue, to benefit all sentient beings without exception, may your compassionate thoughts stay close to me. Grant the blessing of remaining because of the power of your heart pledge. In the Dharmakaya there is no duality, manifesting the Sambhogakaya form to benefit beings, manifesting everywhere compassionately in the Nirmanakaya form to benefit beings. I prostrate to the deity with the wisdom of the three kayas. Free to the mandala of the Great Compassionate One, beyond the torment of the afflictive emotions of hunger and thirst, in order for us to gather the accumulation of wisdom and merit, please accept this offering with delight. Hri, please accept these various outer offerings of water for the face and feet, flowers, incense, lamps, perfume, food, and music.
康观呢，见个拉错念先去半半，一先先的圣洁拉的苏。
Pre, auspicious goddesses fill the realm of space, presenting all phenomenon of form, sound, smell, taste, and touch as offerings to delight the deities of the mandala. Please bless us by accepting this with delight.
Mandala se mandala shora, mandala dube, mandala nevede. Medar Benzala, Medar Dharma Sarva Bunzama Sarsala.
Pre, there is no duality in the wisdom body, yet appearing as duality of the wisdom and samaya beings. Please remain in the state of non-duality to perfectly perform the enlightened activities for the benefit of beings. Pre, from the five bodies abiding in the bodies of the five wisdom, the five victors arise from the Agnin realm, Aknanishta. May I be blessed by the empowering Lord of the family. May the five families grant the realization of the five wisdoms.
Om Hong So Aha Abekenza Ye Wan Gordo Dandun Je La Nam Je Vala Wandare Wajin Barju.
Thus accomplished the empowerment, the five family Buddhas ornament the head of myself and the deities in front as an indication of having bestowed the empowerment. Pre, in order to be one with the body, speech, and mind of all the Buddhas of the three times, bless my body, speech, and mind, and seal by the blessing empowerment.
Kaya sede om vaka sede a seda sede om dan dan zonkar tham je Java Om Garbon Temba Armar Toga Hong Bonam Gosong Tok Dor Jesam Je Ranjin Durju.
In myself and the main deity, along with the mandala deities generated in front, At the forehead is a white Om, in the throat a red A, and at the heart a blue Hung, which become the nature of the Vajra body, speech, and mind. Three, Great Compassionate One, Deity of Wisdom Deities, Yege Drugma, the 6 syllables, Wisdom Source Mother, Norbu Zingpa, Jewel Holder, the Prince who practices the supreme methods, Rignyang Zingpa, Holder of the Mantra, the Princess who practices wisdom, deities not produced but primordially undifferentiated from myself, I praise and prostrate to the bodies of the 4 wisdom deities. Look upon all beings with the eyes of great compassion. Varachana, Dharmadhatu, wisdom. Akshobhya, Vajra, mirror wisdom. Ratnasambhava, equanimity, wisdom. Amitabha, discriminating wisdom. Amoga Siddhi, all-accomplishing wisdom. I praise and prostrate to the 5 wisdoms and the 5 bodies.
Om ye dharma he do drapa he de ta dang ga da he yo wa te khan za yo darat he wa ma te ma sharma na ye so Om ye dharma he do drapa va he de ta dang ga da he yo wa te khan za yo darat Amate Mahasharmana Yesova Om Yedharma Hedrab Hedede Tatanga Heova de Ganda Evamate Mahasharmana Yesova Om Wahum Om Wahum Om Wahum Om Wahum Naje Korwale Wait Namje Jatla Namje Tokar Davevis Shele Yege Truman Hadan Jebal Dozer Sobje Tamje Drup Sobje Devar Shikba Tamje Kuson Tong Yebe Juba Sanla Malu Badu Kamsun Be Simjen Tamje La Pop Lunga Yiz Drapa Jang Tukje Chembe Gomba La Gu Don Sam Jiten Kamje Nubje Tam Tukje Chembe La Tso So Jo Teta Tamje Jang Tam Dunje La Zonkar Tamje Yege Chok Nadan Chok Dong Derwa Jume Jeba Da Jemba Ju
At my heart is a Hri circled by the six-syllable mantra radiating light. At the heart of the deities generated in front is a moon disk with a Hri in the center with the six-syllable mantra radiating light to all directions, making offerings to delight the body, speech, and mind of all the Sugatas of the 10 directions. All the blessings return, the obscurations of the body, speech, and mind of all beings of the 3 realms are purified by the light illuminating them, and they are established in the state of the Great Compassionate One. All the beings and realms of the universe become the deities of the Great Compassionate One. All these, myself, the main deity, the Mandala deities generated in front, recite the 6-syllable mantra continuously, roaring like 1,000 thunderclaps.
So please keep the visualization continuously as you do this practice. And the main thing, if you can't do all of the different aspects of the form, is to keep the seed syllable of the deity in the heart with the mantra chain revolving. And so please at least keep that core of the visualization and recite silently the mantra. And I have a few pieces of advice perhaps I'd like to offer. So in this world, there's a variety of different religious traditions. There's the Buddha Dharma, we can say the teachings of the victorious Buddhas, and there's also other religious traditions as well. And basically, from the perspective of the Buddha Dharma, or the Buddha's teachings, we can say that the Buddha teaches the two truths. The two truths include the relative truth and the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is undivided, one undivided or non-dual truth, and the relative truth is that all beings are actually, at their true nature, they are Buddhas. As is taught in the teachings, all sentient beings are actually Buddhas, but are temporarily obscured by temporary obscurations. And so an example for this is kind of like, although the true nature of the Buddha is like free-flowing water, the temporary obscured state of sentient beings is like being a block of ice. And so this is a very difficult situation, to be like a block of ice. And so what we need to do is melt that ice. And how do we melt that ice? The main method is through generating the altruistic mind of bodhicitta. And so of the 84,000 Dharma teachings given by the Buddha, they all boil down to the singular teaching of the altruistic mind of bodhicitta, generating that bodhicitta. And so this gives bliss, this gives happiness, both temporary and ultimate. And so the core source of happiness, the key cause or source of happiness is actually love, boundless love. And so love brings happiness to the mind, both temporarily, and if we remain within that temporary happiness generated by love, then it culminates in the ultimate or lasting happiness. And so all of this is in service of melting the ice of the temporary obscurations. And when that ice is melted, it is like we've reached the state of Buddha. And so the reason why we need to practice and accomplish this has to do with the nature of samsara and nirvana. We speak about samsara and nirvana, and so the nature of samsara is the nature of suffering. Samsara has the nature of suffering, and this is where we find the different experiences of the 6 classes of beings. When we speak about nirvana, this has to do with the level of Buddhahood, the level of complete awakening. And so within that we have the Nirmanakaya aspect, the Sambhogakaya aspect, and the Dharmakaya aspect. So this has the nature of the 3 kayas. In fact, all of samsara and nirvana is the nature of the 3 kayas. We can say that the 6 classes of beings are actually Nirmanakaya, or the nature of the emanation body of Nirmanakaya. And so from this ground of the Dharmakaya, then we have the temporary appearance of various kinds of suffering, all different kinds of sufferings. And so this is all to do with confusion and the way things appear.
동네 말이 다 빈도래 종데 단지데 동네다 동네가 저도 저저 단지들이 하고는 다 단지데 요당미 딱지 당 소체 당나 다군에데 요 말이 별래 요 말이 소치 조요리 가이가 조는 로버도 문자 로버도에데 다시들 당을 루는 말이 이 루들 다 초가 도그 거리들이 다 이도 뭐 열라 자 매워로 당들이 들이들이 다 차로 차고 그리고 뭐래도 당뭐 나기니 가까이에서 일로들이 이 차당이래도 그러더니 유몽 족티 라왕저성들이 다 노래도 차는 거래 이 하고를 다 데려가야 배게 되거든 다 사족세고 배게 되거든 사족세다 주습도 상제 탐지가 사족세도 상첩들 상가래들 사제도 나지디가 로도 파 상고나 인피가 로 상고리면 인피가 로 봐도 더 친소다잖아 나지도 상토고 말이 데려들이자 더 친소다잖아 상고도 나지디 인피가 로 상고리 대처들을 마들을 뽑았지요나 뽑았지 딱 뽑았지 제거 마들 나요 말이 데리 셉다요래 zu바요래 데리 지바요래 저쪽으로 zu바요래 sabje chibura teri parada sabato changmori deki nyuma bato jongchona teri chokchakrong chaso gore japto tawa chayo gore o teri sepji tabi sanje teri japto kange yoma japto yoma balabi yore te yena kange yomare o sachuk sabata jegen doare dodong thona malam tawa jima tawa re ne kaplo re chingre esa te tawa ha khotol teri deba ji thona le jibde ya ha khotol tambu go teri che gore 레집데 시고래.
So this it's actually true that all sentient beings are like nirmanakayas. But first of all, we cling to this body that we have. But we should understand that this body that we cling to is actually just an emanated form. But the way we cling to it is me. It is like I, me. This is me. This body is me. And so this clinging towards the self takes what is actually free-flowing water and turns it into an experience like ice. The clinging turns it into ice, and the clinging towards the self. And when we can realize, in fact, that there is no such independent self, in other words, realize the absence of self, that is like melting the ice into water. The realization of the absence of self is like melting melted water. And so when we realize that, it is like that. When we do not realize that, what do we normally do? We cling. We cling to the self, and then that clings also to other. So the grasping towards self and other. From that grasping to self and other, we have attachment and aversion. And so this is what is the essence of all the suffering in the world, actually. It comes from self-grasping, fixating on the sense of self. As it is said in the teachings, all the suffering in samsara comes from fixation or grasping on the self. And so we need to understand what self-grasping is, and that it is temporary in the end. We need to overcome our self-grasping, overcome the fixation on the self, and understand that it is ultimately a temporary condition. And so how this first begins is with the body. We cling to our body, this is me. Once we have that clinging to the body as this is me, then we generate attachment towards self and aversion also towards others. And once we have the self, there's the other. They both come together, self and other. And so based on that clinging to self and other, attachment proliferates and also aversion also proliferates. From this we get the 6 kleshas, or the 6 afflictive emotions, based on the karma of the 6 afflictive emotions, then we have what we call the 6 classes of beings, the 6 different kinds of sentient beings. And so if we do not want this to proliferate, then we need to expand our bodhicitta, expand this altruistic mind. And so the Buddhas of the past, present, and future, the Buddhas of the 3 times, all came from bodhicitta, all come from bodhicitta, the altruistic mind. And so if we want to, in the Tibetan word for Buddha, sangye, the first aspect, sang, is to purify. If we want to purify our mind stream, we need to develop this mind that wishes to help others, the mind that wishes to be of help to others. That purifies the mind. Without the mind that wishes to benefit other beings, there is no purification, there is no attaining of Buddhahood. And so we have to transform the mind of self-grasping into the mind that wishes to benefit others. And so this is kind of like a mind that cherishes others, like a mother cherishes her child. If we look at a mother with a small child, all she wants to do is benefit and cherish that small child. So we have to develop that same mind state towards all sentient beings. This is at the core of all the 6 paramitas. If we have that bodhicitta, then all the 6 paramitas are contained within that. And so this is like melting the ice into free-flowing water, into an ocean, in fact, melting ice into an ocean. And so if we think of an ocean has waves, but the waves don't cause problems. And so sentient beings, in the end, from that perspective, are just like a dream or like an illusion. And so to understand this, we have to first understand karmic cause and effect, karmic causality. So the most important thing in here is that we're doing like a sadhana. We're practicing a sadhana, trying to accomplish a sadhana. So what does it mean? So the word in Tibetan for sadhana is a druptap, the way of accomplishing, the method for accomplishing something. So the accomplishing part means to practice. It's something that we need to actually do and to practice. And then the word tap or method is how to do that, how to accomplish that or practice that. And so here, some people say, oh, I have to do the sadhana, I have to do the sadhana. The sadhana is the practice, and that's true, but we have to keep in mind the method here is for what? The method is for accomplishing awakening. It's for accomplishing Buddhahood. That's what we need to keep in mind. And what is Buddhahood? What is awakening? Awakening is purifying our self-grasping. Purifying this self-grasping attachment to the sense of self is what we need to purify. And this is like melting the ice. We have to melt the ice of self-grasping. When that ice is melted, what is left? It is like a free-flowing ocean of water. Another way we can say this is we have to realize the nature of the mind. If we realize the nature of the mind, that is the state of Buddha. And so the mind normally, when it's not realized, its nature is not realized, it clings to its sense of self. However, its true nature is like the sky, it is like space. There is no suffering in space, actually, in this true nature of the mind. And so we have to remember that the true nature of mind is pure bliss. And so we say in our For Immeasurable prayer, may all beings have never be separated from the bliss that is totally free of suffering. So the nature of mind is that. It is pure bliss, free of any suffering. And we need to remember that. We need to understand that. And so this is actually the point of all sadhanas. And so now we'll take a 30-minute break. Thank you.
Just a quick reminder, everyone, please keep count of your mantra accumulations. We will be collecting them at the end of the retreat, and there are 2 different mantras we're accumulating, so you'll keep 2 different counts. Thank you. We're doing Om Mani Padme Hum this morning, and then we'll do If you're in the temple when Garchen Rinpoche arrives, please remain seated. That is Garchen Rinpoche's preference. He would prefer everybody to stay in meditation, stay with your mindfulness, stay with your mantra, rather than standing up when he arrives into the temple. Thank you.
Recitation, ni tama peso. Ani kita kaya siya. Lama gebi sini mampu ke. Kacu sungguh ada ta. Sungguh ya tadi. Nayang ganji mampu itu loci bau kita siya kotor kali hoy. Tahu kan acak jaki siya hoy. Jadi yang bagi mak kita lah. Sudah kiri hoy nyamnyong itu ni. So lama nyamnyong lah. 냠냠들이 제는 것도 대다 뱅게 되게 딱히 어떻게 시행해요 그래 되면 목적이라 시행해요.
So I think most people are back, Tashidle, and I have a few other things to say. I think many lamas give teachings nowadays, and this is great. Some you have to request to give teachings and really kind of push them. Some, although they give teachings, it may or may not come from experience. I think that when teachings come from a lama's experience, then they're very, very beneficial. This is more beneficial. So it's a little hard for me to breathe, but I'm still going to try to teach.
요로 딱따르 매를 체다리데 용리 직접 세고 내려오나 대대 이 뒤경이더니 남 이게 롱거들이 이람 이게 차요 거리들이 롱이 자총낭 인소 죽고 남카다워들이 샘탐지 죽고 야와탐지 싫어들이 죽고 그러는 리스점지 산지에 담에 남카다 집발에 참대요래 말아리 바가 속네 공 시도로 세요 말해대 요한 아이까지 참대요데 저도 가든 거나 공유어래 또 사족생량 내지에서 말하는 남타는 소리 대단히 오 사탐지 남카가 가는 남지기 요래 주가 남카도 딱발 전체에 봐요 말이 딱발 전체요 말이 별다 네 라니 소지만 강게 죽은 종미세장데 오 저기 나와 봐도와다 처음에 거저 죽을 봐도와 처음에 요만 딱발 요래 다 죽어 나가다고 도지 창지 대시 거리 그리고 저 대는지 차고래지 대는지 차고 다쳐도 무보던 치마데 쪼고 요래지 대지지 무보던 치마데 강에서 난디서 난디도 쪼고 다오는 이요리 니지 요래 다지 이미네들이 저도다지 좀만 보는 서 샘도 바래지 랑도 로로 차고 요래 샘네 록시서는 오 탐지 나와라 잡아나 되네 라시바드 나 동데 좀데 그니 말이지 샘데 그니래지 좀데 드마타래지 대도 하고 대나도 라이 동도서인데 오 디동데스 가르게 제거를 오 마가 하는 진이 동부다데 동당부터 또 많이 제거요 다지기 말아봐 내로 도데 오 동당데 요아 말이 매 말이 매전 통된데 요 상고 말 미상고 말 직접만 대통만 동파들 이거들이 데르들이 너무 가지고 그 나시 라코르코 아르치상아 제름 보통 저서 나시 라코르코 거는들이 문이 있으면서 말이 문이 말이 있으면서 말 난 통들은 메롱은 좀이다 샤도를 sembrano di me papami il tek do tata ge data drabne dubir lati lonkore ya chunta o to chapde yore dubung so mi da ji ni yore te da ji ni ko drop go yore te chawron de ma jo ba drop go te vere tri drop go tung te re.
And so when we talk about a druptap or a sadhana, this method for accomplishing, then what is it that we're trying to accomplish? We're to accomplish the deity, the wisdom deity. So who is the deity? The deity from the Dharmakaya emerges the Sambhogakaya. From the Sambhogakaya emerges the Nirmanakaya. So this is the nature of the three kayas. And so now the form that we're working with is the Sambhogakaya form. And so basically, as we engage in this practice, what we think is the self is actually emptiness. And so things have been pure from the very beginning. When we say purity, purity also means emptiness. If it's empty, it's also pure. And so how we normally think, we either think it is real or it is not real. It is there or it is not there. That's how we normally relate to things. But neither of these is really correct, actually. To say it is really there or it is just not there at all. Both of these are incorrect. To say it is really there falls into the extreme of eternalism. And to say it is just not there, it does not exist at all, falls into the extreme of nihilism. And so naturally, when we get beyond these limitations of existing and not existing, then we can understand more of the ocean-like quality of the true nature. And so the Dharmakaya, which is the true nature of the mind of all the Buddhas, is like the sky. It is like space. And so all deities are like residing together in space, always abiding in that space-like quality. And so as it is said in the 37 practices of the Bodhisattva, whoever, although they know that everything is the Dharmakaya, and so the Dharmakaya is like the sky, and this is like the true nature of the mind of Dorje Chang or Vajradhara. And so basically we have to see that self and other are indivisible. There is form, what we perceive as form, and then there is also the mind, or the nature of mind. And we have to understand, as the teachings say, that all appearances are the deity, all sounds are mantra. So actually, form, what we perceive to be material form, is like an illusion. And the nature is totally pure. The nature of the mind, though, is totally pure. And all form is like an illusory display. And so we shouldn't think in terms of, is it real or is it not there at all? We shouldn't think that way, but rather see all that appears and exists as the nature of the deity. Seeing all that appears and exists as the nature of the deity is actually the point of all sadhanas. And so we're working with the Sambhogakaya, particularly here, the Sambhogakaya form. And the whole point of engaging in this sadhana, this method of accomplishment, is to purify self-grasping. And as Milarepa said, he will not die, but rather he will pervade everywhere, like pervade all of space. This was described in Milarepa's life story.
the same key, the living the flower bongo yore, the young more the yore, Chiba yore. The Tamachipare is a hakor, or don't you worry, the hakor. Do you a laticare, do you a lati, that's some jelly, some take around something. Latam jedi, Sanjetam jedi, Generator, Nijimore, they repaired it, the generator, they cognated data. They need to set up, not up, sound up some. Set up the whole day, you chap the tea dart on the little Sakon tea on the do. Ah, Sala, Lachama, Bodo. Dwar, Dok Sama, they were the day we just come to calling Code, you don't that, don't do your Sat on color, your jabber tongues, tea don't come out and go Sajeto. Melting simply to the new charging tower, the Dungi Jata give a hako yori. They need the old Tanton on the. Now, cut out the some jelly. Now, can't get it. Nothing to a carry. That longer. Pama, maintain Pongo, order to me, they are too to your. They are getting much to what the last. That's what I think to say. Something last me. They are the Tapachim Dawn only. Who seem king, 삼제티 봐줘 고바자로 뒤지고 쳤대서 대는 일이 니마 kel 감도래 땅에 대해서 되는 양매반도 그래 특바 전부 세 대마게 주소 삼제티 자 전부래 에 기와를 기와 처음에 처로 싸고 산지가 당보 잠이서는 초사되나 내 당보 지왕 앞자 망보 지왕 앞자는 삼제티 주바 그 당보 지암니 주바 고메들이 파르도서 막 독게 상제도 좀 탈다니들 매바소들이 sem남과도 축어남과도 상지에데 또 삼제 싸고 때 삼제 싸고 그래서 삼제 싸고 삼제 싶어서 다 지레도 그래서 다 지레들을 잡좀 좋아 되는 이 남대 썩어 동도 남대 사제 찾아서 그때서 때는 까빠장 사제 동장이 패고 까빠들 사제 찾아特别 띵서 까빠들 사제 찾아 特别 띵서 때는 사제 그 추송송 추대 니네 때 양털에 개중이 사제 추당 개중이서 사제 매라 추매 개중이 다 적디 감나고 개중이 봐 탐지 사제 추라더니 추라더니 추가래 샘도 적고래시 샘도에서 적고도 없이 추대 적고 열가래 다지디로 파요를 이기미 저제고 다지디 제고도 없이 요거 사제지 비sem는 좀 대지한테 대지스로 대 개두면서 이제 15차 오 때랑은 코바가 대지 더 파요를 들이라라 기책 따라지 고명민지 라라가 투발었어 투스톰 보면 좀 그들이 뭐좀 가리지 다 심지상지 멋지서 좀 되게 람통고 그래 대들이 똑같이 먹게 돼서 특바 제부 개대지 셈을 가리 특히 배제 잠소라지 특바 제부 개대기 삼제대 잠소 제부 따버려서 특바 총을 빠지쳐서 다 빠지면 나오면서 나 보고 청대지 미시토들이 다 빠지면 좋아 쳐버려 다도만 너도 뒤는 책들 남상 나서는 게 딱 보자 남자 다 떼고 버리네 특히 배제 잠소라서 빠지면 빠지셔서요 당연히 소소한 거 쳤대 당연히 돼 삼제 라통을 삼제의 생기 오만하게 대 록사를 세게 누고 돼 산속에서 도마도 세게 누는 이거래지 네 우리 세게 나는 뭐 세기로 말로라 피자 가능하면 다고 고고래 세기 오마가래 세기도 속자 선들은 이제 걸 말이지 줄어서 적세우나 다리 정도 사제 고방을 서쪽으로 정락 동에 오면서 줄 다 대서에 다 산쪽 선배 산쪽 셈때리 상계 오마데 삼제리 내 세르 누구들이 다 루바 버리지 다다다도 좀 커버서 같은 라루 다 루바 찾다 보면 사제게 루바 가지고 온들다 잠이서 초상에 다 류등 쏘다 그래서 총마 탐지 좀 봤다는 다 사제 남타들 셈때 셔야 요말 루바 돈도래 루바 좀 맞다고 다 사제 잠이서 초사더니 사제 가려서 사제 삼제 사요 그래서 그 사제 뭐 뒤숨도 사제 삼제 삼제 사 뒤삼제 잡도지 뭐 되는 제와지 다무시 사족세도 너무 라네 당아 삼제데 초소도 왜 삼제면 당제 벤라니 소비면 소응가리 주 다른 이봐 중제 미인데 간다 다른 거 주제데 주 이봐 가는 거 있지 뭐 어떻게 줄 거야 그래서 나 어떤 나 저거도 봤다 좀 저거도 이제 강자 셔도 그렇지 내가 이 컨트롤랑스는 뭐 삼제라고 삼제블라 다 처음에 거 어떤 왜 삼제죠 왜 처음 삼제요 되다 디스무요 대도 저거 대도 고요리 삼제 짜치 뭐야 되라 들들이 샘지 봐서 잡든 뭐 대속을 납도 사제 좀 이게 납성데 잡든 좋아 다 추가에 추삼제도 다 보자 그래서 잡도 샘지 같은데
So, if we can bring the point of, all the various different kinds of sadhanas, sort of bring them into their commonality. There's elaborate sadhanas and there's also concise sadhanas, but they all have these common features, such as going for refuge, generating the altruistic mind of bodhicitta, meditating on the deity, and so on. So in a way, they're all kind of the same. They have the same core elements. And in terms of the deity, the deities are like Buddhas. We can say that all the Buddhas sort of are represented by Chenrezig, by Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara possesses the qualities of great compassion, and that's really what it comes down to. This being the representative or of all the Buddhas because of possessing that great compassion. And so when we talk about a sadhana, there's different dimensions of the sadhana: the outer dimension, the inner dimension, and the secret or innermost dimensions. And so just speaking about the outer dimension, we have the 6 classes of beings, the appearances that we normally experience as part of the 6 classes of beings experiences. And so actually all of samsara and nirvana, all the totality of the experiences of the 6 classes of beings are of the nature of basic space, or the dhatu. And so actually seeing that the vast variety of experiences of the sentient beings of the 6 classes, seeing the detailed sufferings of all the 6 classes of beings in great elaborate detail is what Avalokiteshvara sees. And so despite his mind being like the sky, all pervasive and pure like the sky, he can see all the detailed minutiae of the suffering of sentient beings down to their tiniest detail. So we think about our own minds in comparison, then we have, we think, oh, I have love, in my mind, but we have love, but it's so easily changed, because then suddenly one day we get into a fight with somebody, we get into conflict or a quarrel, and our love disappears immediately in getting into a fight. And so the mind of sentient beings, in comparison to that, is small. The samsaric mind of beings is like it's like a tiny puddle, and our capacity for love and compassion is sort of like a puddle that can instantly dry up in the blazing sun. And so we think about the Buddhas. They have, it is said, according to the teachings, that they, in order to become a Buddha, they, gathered the accumulations or merit for 3 countless eons, and so then finally perfecting the 6 paramitas, the 6 perfections, their mind became like space or like the sky, which is like attaining Buddhahood. And so from the Mahayana point of view, of course, the Buddha is so incredibly precious. We think about Chenrezig, or the great Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. So Avalokiteshvara is sort of like the embodiment of the enlightened mind of all the Buddhas, including Buddha Shakyamuni. And then, so basically from the Buddha comes the Dharma. From the Dharma arises the Sangha. The Sangha, comes from the Dharma comes from the Buddha. And so basically, what is the Dharma? The Dharma is about transformation. The Dharma is about transforming the mind. It's about exchanging self for other. Exchanging self for other, generating compassion. And so we need to practice in order to free ourselves of samsara. And so practice involves listening and studying the Dharma, contemplating the Dharma, meditating on the Dharma. And so all sentient beings, for the sake of all sentient beings. And so from the perspective of the Mahayana, then basically the nature of all beings is like an ocean. So the love and affection of all the Buddhas is sort of like an ocean, and whereas our own sort of capacity for love and affection at the present time is like the footprint of a cow in terms of comparison. And then bodhicitta is like lion's milk. Lion's milk is so potent it cannot be held by an ordinary container. So this is sort of symbolizes the enlightened mind of the wisdom mind of bodhicitta, and so there's no suffering at all in actual true bodhicitta. So it is like lion's milk. So we think about the Buddha's life story, how he accumulated virtue for 3 countless eons, perfected all of the 6 paramitas. He gave his body repeatedly, gave it up, because he saw the body as like an illusion. So this is this Mahayana point of view. And so he took a pure birth in 500 lifetimes and an impure birth in another 500 lifetimes. And then, so basically, when we speak about the Dharma, we have these core features of going for refuge, generating bodhicitta. And it is taught that love is protected by patience. So as it says in the 37 practices of the Bodhisattva, even if someone should injure me like cutting off my head, I should still see their good qualities. So it's like even if I had made no error on my side, but still someone were to cut off my head, I should still be willing to take that suffering on the path.
然后财经的先搞嘛，出版不的了，出版不总搞的说赢了能把的，赢了能把的呢，啥子话呢？出去就搞的，就是人会说，你把的呢，长车话的搞的，你我我家给你播的，我去不过，我就龙舟是过要过那上面，我去过没？我去过没？这头我家人的，出西从来个意思咯，出菜那几包的。那个酱啊，上这个来了上就得到，你把那些就龙就得到讨药来的，吃什么东西去了没得讨药来的，去了牛奶里接种了，得讨不药来的，这讨的讲哈过了说那的，这个说那个讨东这个叫门去的啥个都嘛算了，我去不过的了，讲说那多少的，这里那么就慢慢些把呢，说那的多少呢，错把卡些车都错过了的，车没了，光光差着了。说那的早从这里，说那的，然后妈妈就早着别提到了，这参加个那些人说嘛的，说那个小姐动作吧，你们我也就把没，那你们给为建议，咱们平时全部这咱们这个，没适当生了的，没这刚我接完了车了，忙不了，刚给没吧，手机东批吧对吧，对吧？假如你们我建议就说那种呢，哦，说那没呢。这都出国了，这都让他们的前面哪个有的，但他们那个东西的，这都人家冷着，从电脑就冷着的，说他们的早从说他们从中点米了，这些地方用好东西用的，这他们的热这个，他热给去不来的，所以他们的热的送的，这个热给完了这个地方用的，这上这人这个地方用，热没给完了这个东西用的。这个场这个都把讲不在，也不怎么做过这送他的，他场这个这种他给设计吧的，你今天这个说话的常常有了对吧的，我家给你我常常为赢了，身体也我出版不为赢了，都家人身体也我出版不为赢了，学堂给你我都把下为赢了，他都给你我即使也让为赢了，这里头给他当地给你往好赢了，所以了对，所以了对吧的，错实话的怕这把讲话的，这是错啥就看的，上帝切着，上帝在我讲有的，我找给这里，两生那里的，你们我找给这里，说那么的，上帝怕娘们有的，呀，娘们这么娘们的了，怕了都是把找给我他们他这样，他上帝的，他忙着着了，这里啥子啥。上车的，他的女梦把车的给我讲说呢，这跑到是把车的的，他没做的，车了他也接个别的的，他错啥的，这把讲错啥，怕这把讲的，你这里两个先进桥上的说呢，他先的要去做的这把桥我现在老接了我，这个大的那块的今年就错进两个藤的，错进咱们就搞到上这个一步，过去我说别上这全部有嘞。那个他们就上，这里当官的今年就这一点呢，今年个上这就去了，差不多了。那个什么，今年就搞到这种上这给有了，别提到了。这里才到龙宫里就空的，甚至马就不到的这样全部有了。我说完你们的，说完你们这里，然后说老张这里空上这个差不多了。我说那国家可以有了，这里，然后加不清楚啊，这里3几八的。以前我有了上这接送了，他今年就差不多了，也跟以前差不多之类的。他今年就绕的，当然你就我差送，当然我今年就绕，今年就上这结果，当然上这长忙了都，那么长忙了都，那个家看了上这都上这上把车尾巴抢了，这里抢了下来，3几八的，这里咋讲？他是哪种开过来，啷开过来？他这个小娃做，他也当干蛮多的，这让你家做到了，拉近了这个，拉近的那个没看见，我就把，这里的就我讲的了，这里的我觉得那一个的咖喱里的，那一个的这个家从到，两个家从到儿子，这个就是sem当地没法查出，现在这个查出，这个查出他两个他容易了，他家从到了实际东西是吧？那这里小娃到冲那帮他说这里。他这个的人多都是上这个抢我的，他那么给微信你叫他上班做这个，那做这个，接完这个，都他搞对了做的， They taught you to that you got it. Talk to them, that's how I was on the they taught you to tell you. No, that's something something people that they were seduced. It's a good reason that they say, because I got to know they're taught some seduced. Now, don't think I that's something. So I don't got it. Oh, that's not about the city. They said the thing from Dagi remember to done with them on tongue. Oh, three luckily around yesterday. Someone now a lot of one. They thought chat with us how to change it. They do change it as a major and do your Niba, Nini, Dupa, Dupchi, yes, they like something Chalong, just in the water of Saturday. That is the Dupachi, but that carry round lot of Togor, lot of the whole same subject of Togor. Same subject of Togor. 3 teeth on the young thing, that I'm just like young thing in Yogore. Out the door, same but this lucky, but I did it. So just someone he get though, so did he get it? Also same to buy and be. Just you got taken a chapter for it. Somebody say me about it. How that is me about half quarter. 3 semi lost him. 3 17 times Ramji, the paying or it. Ramji the pin. Oh, darker. Oh, my God, that's my dog trouble my book saying. 17 times Ramji. And songs when they have the tourism. Tourism was 17 times led of the eulogy. Led of the eulogy times the so I took some eulogy. So I took some eulogy. I went to double number 2 or so. Raji told you, Mambo or a better subject. Tarajim bead. Simply means Saji meum. Saji Kakaruma Saji Semly or Dili, similarly, something Chipochena. Dandi may pass on a tree that's how they chat on the Dandi sang Jimmy or Jenny or says Zog, burn up a moon so they're simply to something. 3 summer pretty 3 so I took Tokyo, the big machine Tokyo, 3 days only, 3 ladron, 3 simply tabs, Pinto Tokyo, lad dropped the drums, 3 days that the block is the top jet, I will tell. So don't now, sound of some way, the Chile is say about Nugget about the Martinez, the Chido, like to bring up the theatre, some long song, some about some day, the Todaha column, the whole say young Dishi. The lead, Nanga some day, literally, Nanga some day, young day, Mahako. The literally, Nanga thought down with the Mahako, don't literally. Sanji, Daji Jimeva, Saji Jimeva, Sama Dubaka, Teta or Hako Tokoyori, did the top of your day, said Nang Sang Song, already.
And so we talk about going for refuge. So going for refuge in the Buddha, in the wisdom element, going for refuge in the Dharma, which is love and compassion. From love and compassion, if one embodies love and compassion, then one becomes the Sangha. We also go for refuge in the Supreme Assembly or the Sangha. So we go for refuge in this way in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So the meaning of going for refuge or kyamdro is sort of like seeking protection, going for protection. So sometimes in the teachings, you hear, in the end, you are your own protector. You have to protect yourself. We have to protect ourselves. So what is it that actually protects us in the end? It is love and affection. Love, affection, and compassion. That is the true protector. So we can generate our own protection if we generate love, affection, and compassion within our own mind. And so we think about a lama, a kalyana mitra, or a wise spiritual friend, or a lama, a spiritual guide. It is a teacher. someone who helps guide us along. I mean, just like in a school, we need teachers in a school. Like that, and the Lama guides us. And so, based on understanding karmic cause and effect, and understanding how all beings experience karmic cause and effect, then we can understand the importance of going for refuge in the three jewels. And so going for refuge in the three jewels is like essentially going for refuge in love and compassion in a way. And of course we have this inside of ourselves. And then, after going for refuge and generating bodhicitta, we make offerings to Avalokiteshvara, to Chenrezig, in the manner of the 7-branch offering, offering prostrations, and then offering praise, and offering prostrations, making offerings, confessing negativity, rejoicing, and so on. So the 7-branch offering is here. And so the first one, offering prostrations, offering homage, is an antidote to pride. So what is pride? Pride is like, I am, this is my body, I look good, I'm strong, I'm healthy, I have no illness, I'm like this. That is pride. I don't need any, this is my religious tradition, or I don't need any religious tradition, or all those kinds of attitudes are like pride. But actually, the truth is that in order to attain this precious human form, the only way it's attained is through the accumulation of merit. It is only through merit that one can attain this precious human body, the precious human life. And as soon as that merit is exhausted, the life is over. The precious human life is finished. So we need to continue to create merit and not lose our merit. Otherwise, as soon as the merit is exhausted, the precious human life is likewise finished. And so basically, it's like burning up, I think he said burning up oil in a lamp. As soon as the oil is finished, the lamp goes out. And so basically we need to continue to get merit. And just like when we do generate merit, we immediately dedicate it so that it doesn't get lost. It is like that kind of principle, so that our merit doesn't get lost. And so understanding the cause is very important. It's so important to understand how merit is generated. What is the actual cause of merit? Because as it is taught, all phenomena simply arise from their causes. And so, from virtue comes happiness and well-being. Happiness and well-being come from virtue. From negativity or non-virtue comes suffering. Suffering comes from negativity or non-virtue. And so, and so the antidote to pride is to pay homage or offer prostrations. And the antidote to stinginess is to make offerings. The antidote to pride, to desire and attachment is to make offerings also. And the and then the antidote to anger is to confess, and the antidote to jealousy is to rejoice. And then finally, to dedicate the merit of everything is the antidote to self-grasping or self-centeredness. So these are the 7 branch offerings. And so really the point of all of this 7 branch offerings and the whole practice is to gather the accumulations, and otherwise accumulate merit and purify negativity. Gather merit and purify negativity. And so basically the 6 paramitas gather, are the primary way to gather merit, and to in the end, Buddhas and sentient beings are in a way the same. They're equal, but the difference is how much merit has been accumulated and how much negativity has been purified. And so the 6 paramitas are how we gather merit. And so in fact, what we're doing is transforming the 6 afflictive emotions. We're transforming the 6 afflictive emotions by practicing the 6 paramitas. And so it all comes down to gathering merit and purifying negativity. And so then we invite the deities, the wisdom deities, Avalokiteshvara, and the retinue into space in front of us. And then it dissolves into us. The wisdom deities dissolve into ourself. And when that happens, if we can always think that they are one with us, that they've dissolved into us and that we are one, then there's a great blessing in this actually. And so we can supplicate the deity with this kind of understanding. So basically there's refuge and there is generating bodhicitta. Here we're practicing basically this, since this is the practice of Chenrezig or Avalokiteshvara, it is compassion that is key. It is immeasurable love that is key. And understanding that our mind and the mind of the enlightened ones, including the deity, are in the end the same. And so there's many different kind of yidam deities. There's peaceful ones, there's wrathful ones. But all of the sadhanas, they have this similar quality. We have to generate the deity. We have the stage of generating the deity. And so basically there's the Dharmakaya aspect, and from the Dharmakaya comes the Sambhogakaya. The Dharmakaya aspect is like the absence of self-grasping. The absence of the self-grasping is the Dharmakaya dimension. And from that comes the Sambhogakaya. The Sambhogakaya appears to benefit sentient beings. And then from that we have the Nirmanakaya emanations. So for example, it is said that the Buddha's enlightened activity appears in the form of spiritual teachers to benefit beings. So spiritual teachers or lamas are one example of a type of Nirmanakaya. There's also so there's many different kinds of Nirmanakayas. There's the supreme Nirmanakaya, there's the emanated Nirmanakayas, there's the variety of unpredictable Nirmanakaya forms. And so the Buddha's activity to benefit beings appears in all these different kinds of Nirmanakaya forms. And so this is sort of an explanation of the, outer accomplishment of the sadhana. So there's always outer, inner, and secret. So then the inner dimension of the sadhana has to do with generating this altruistic mind of bodhicitta. And then there's the secret or innermost dimension of a sadhana. So what does the secret or innermost dimension of a sadhana relate to? It relates directly to the Buddha nature, to the underlying awakened nature or pure nature. This is also the ultimate truth. And so seeing things in that way, we'll come to understand that all appearances are the deity. All the appearances are the deity. All sounds are mantra, and so on. And so we have to go through, and then we have this Drupchen, this great accomplishment practice, which we have to go through step by step. And so this reflects, the what we call approach, close approach, and accomplishment. And so this is it's related to that, the stages of dissolution and the dying process. And so basically, when we're practicing this accomplishment, we view oneself as the deity, and we're accomplishing the mind. What is the mind? The mind has fundamental qualities. These fundamental qualities are the same as the qualities of the deity. And so in this case, it's Chenrezig or Avalokiteshvara, who has compassion for all sentient beings, who has unlimited love for beings. And so to practice that and bring forth those qualities of unlimited love for beings and the knowledge of the absence of self, then simply to meditate like that naturally benefits all beings. And so when we think about the lower 3 realms of samsara and the beings in the lower 3 realms and the beings in the higher 3 realms, all of them come from causes, karmic causes and conditions. They're all the product of karmic causality. That's where beings arise because of karmic causes and conditions. And so it is said that there are no sentient beings and there are no Buddhas in the end. There is no sort of self and other in the end. So realizing that there's no self and other is actually the mind of the Buddha. And so whatever we think we are, this or that, we think we're a man, we think we're a woman, we want to, whatever we think we are, in the end, we should understand that in our nature there is no self and other. And then this can allow us to accomplish all enlightened activities. And so the point of accomplishing, in the sense of a sadhana, accomplishing a deity, is to bring benefit to sentient beings. And so it's important to understand the various dimensions of the sadhana, and that the Buddha and oneself are in the end indistinguishable. So again, all sadhanas have outer, inner, and secret dimensions. Sorry, I misspoke. There's not 3, there's 4. There's approach, close approach, accomplishment, and great accomplishment.
Oh, the top carriage on the Jamdo Senti, the Hajakimori, Jamdo Senti Yawacha, the top Chatang Yawachagari, Jamdo door, the city, the Senti Vadi, Senti English something, my general, the top Tamsi, the Tanibai Omari, the Kishibori, the little Tamyari.
So basically, whatever sadhana we're practicing, we need to have the element of going for refuge, seeking protection, and also generating the altruistic mind of bodhicitta. So if our refuge and our bodhicitta generation are good, then the sadhana will be good. It will go well. All sadhanas are based on this. Without refuge and bodhicitta, there is no sadhana. So I'll stop here for today.
Page 29. From emptiness arises a drum syllable that transforms into a precious container. The initial letters of each of the offerings appear and then transform into the offering substances with the nature of emptiness. Through contemplation, they transform into an unlimited cloud of offerings which has the power to produce never-ending happiness.
Om Benza Agam Avo, Om Benza Badeng Avo, Om Benza Pube Avo, Om Benza Dube Avo, Om Benza Aloge Avo, Om Benza Bende Avo, Om Benza Nevada Avo, Om Benza Agambati da sova, Om Aya Lokeshore Sapare Vare Padem Pati da sova, Om Aya Lokeshore Sapare Vare Pube Pati da sova, Om Aya Lokeshore Sapare Vare Dube Pati da sova, Om Aya Lokeshore Sapare Aloge Patita Sova, Om Aya Lokeshore Sapare, Gende Patita Sova, Om Aya Lokeshore Sapare, Vare Nevede Patita Sova, Om Aya Lokeshore Sapare.
Your 1,000 arms are the 1,000 Chakravartin kings. Your 1,000 eyes are the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate eon, manifesting whatever is needed to train those to be trained. I praise and prostrate to Sungpa Chenrezig, to all those worthy of praise. I always bow with bodies countless as dust particles. I praise you with supreme faith. Now we'll go to the Red Chenrezig text called An Abbreviated Essential Daily Practice of Mahakaruna Kina, Guru Samaja, and to page 24 for the descent of blessings.
Lama Renzen Zawa Sumje Tujuka Tamje Tinda Badar Sum Shanla Wangur Mudro Zor Jele Rubar
Now we'll break for lunch.
Please wait for announcements. Thank you.